plant's in a decontamination and decommissioning phase. And that means that essentially they're taking the buildings down and focused on monitoring and cleaning up the environment at the site. We work with a local high school class on taking the contents of their annual site environmental report, or Aser report, which contains all of the results of the environmental monitoring for a specific year.
The Aser is a very large and complex document, and it's difficult to read for most of us on the outside. This provides an opportunity for the department to be able to communicate on a level that is much more easy to understand and easy to read, but also it allows the students an opportunity to get to know what's happening at the site, to understand the technical aspects.
The students have an opportunity to not only learn about science, but they get to learn a little bit about communication. They have to take very complex information and roll it into something the general public can understand, and as most people know, that's not an easy thing to do.
In addition to working directly with the students on the writing, I also arrange subject matter experts to come in and present on the content of the Aser report.
The presentations have been very helpful to let them see science beyond the science class. It makes the sampling and that aspect of it so much more real, so that they're not just looking at numbers in a report, but they understand the flow of how did we get that data and then how is that data used.
We had people come in and show us different equipment and different things that they did in the field.
We learned that they work very hard on what they do, and they do a lot to help out our environment to make sure it's safe and clean, and the water and everything is clean for us.
We went to a field trip to Port Site, and that was actually really cool because we got to talk to different people and what they did and what they showed us they did, and it was really fun.
I learned on how they tested each thing, how they collected samples from groundwater, different samples from the animals, different samples from the air.
Locally, at least, we read the statistics. When kids enter high school, they have a high level of interest in STEM fields. Approximately a third of them express an interest. By the time they graduate, that number is less than half. And this allows them, maybe opens up their eyes to career opportunities.
I think it's a great thing. Real good opportunity for the kids to do some college level work here and be exposed to things that otherwise, even though we live in the area right beside the atomic plant, most folks didn't have any idea of the ongoing monitoring and really the safeguards that are in place to keep where we live safe.
We really appreciate the opportunity to allow us to be a part of this. It's exciting. Everybody that I talk to that has come to talk, some of them come and say, well, okay, and then afterwards they're like, if you're going to do this again next year, I want to be a part of it. So it is really contagious, and I think it's a good opportunity for all of the students in Pike County to experience.
I had no idea about any of it until we started this project, so I definitely learned all the different parts of it and how many people it took to work there and all the hard work that they put into it.
I'm very thankful that our class got picked to do this project because I learned so much more, and actually I think once we're actually done with this project, I'm still going to be looking into it and trying to learn more about the port site.